today we're going to be looking at the Shores of Gold. Going to be showing you how to do it as a solo slooper, as it can be a bit tricky on your own. The first thing you want to do is, by using the latest updates, you can actually go and select the tour table from your table, from the captain's table. That way, when you sail out, you can actually dive to the location to save you a bit of time. It starts at Morrow Peak, so as you never actually start at that outpost, it's a lot quicker to actually dive to the location. So once you sail out to the open sea, and so long as there's no other boats around, you will quickly find yourself diving into the location. So I'm going to be using a few of the newer tools that have been added to Sea of Thieves to try and do this as quickly as possible. Just a note though, if you are sailing out to Morrow Peak, if you do see a cannon of rage, you can pick that up, especially if you have trouble with the cannon shot onto the statue a bit later on. You can actually just place the cannon of rage right in front of the statue, and it also would actually help to get one of the books as well. This video isn't going to be going through all of the books that you need to get, all 10. I would highly recommend checking out Damron's video for those. These videos really have helped me with doing all of the tall tales. But yeah, this one is, so it's more designed for solo, and it should be a bit quicker on some of the vaults. So as you can see, we're now diving through to Morrow's Peak, and once you get there you need to go and speak to Grace, who's at the back on the left. Gotta say, I've had loads of fun doing these tour tales. One of the best things about the game for me. This is actually going to be the 5th time that I've done this one. You do need to do them all 5 times to get the achievement, as well as all the journals. I've still got a few of the ones that are added afterwards to do and finish off as well. This is by far the longest one. I have to admit, the first time I did it was actually before they had checkpoints, and there wasn't much of a guide at the time. I did it fairly soon when it first came out. It took me a long time. So I'm actually finally going back and finishing them off 5 times each recently. Okay, so once you've started the tour tale, head back to your ship. Probably a good idea just to make sure the shroud breaker has been added on board. Sometimes I've had issues with it where it hasn't been added. You can just see it there, little thing. And then we're ready. We're going to head north now. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, because it's a fair sail. Probably about 10 minutes sail or so. Maybe a bit less, depending on the wind. Okay, but once you start to peak the edge of the map, start to reach the edge of the map, I should say, you'll then, normally where you start to go into the red zone, you normally start to break up now. With the shroud breaker, you can make it safely across. You can just about see Shores of Gold in the distance there. I normally head in towards the sort of southeast of the island. Also, if you did have any treasure, I haven't got any with me, but you can actually bury the treasure, and that way you can actually have a map should you need it. I've done this one a few times now, so I shouldn't need a map. You shouldn't even need to look in the book today. Everything to complete the tale will be in this video. Now usually you have to go, there's a few puzzles for each vault, some fairly easy, some are just long-winded. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you codes for the vault. Now these codes do work every time, so you don't have to have a look at the book. You just need to turn the pillars the same amount of times as on this video, and that will get you what you require. Okay, so the first vault is going to be the southern vault, just up here on the left. So I'll just raise sails. All four vaults are fairly similar. You use light the razors, I think you say it, to start it. Never know how to say those. Razors. Anyway, whatever they are. Once you've lit the razors, that's what I'm going to be calling them, you can then go and move the pillars. So on this one, the third pillar doesn't move, so that's what I've included 0 for that. So once they've lit up, you need to move the first pillar 2 times, second pillar once, third one doesn't move, and the fourth is 2 times. You then go and enter the solution. I actually wasn't using a guide the first time I did this, so I did get the first one wrong. So that's why it's already filled up a little bit with water. But that's exactly what this guide is for, so you don't make the same mistakes. So the second one is 2, 2, again 0, and move this one 3 times. And then finally it's 1, 3, 0, and 2. You've got plenty of time to do this, even if it starts filling up water like it has now. Just make sure you get your breaths. Okay. So once we've got that, we can head back to the ship. We're going to need to collect 4 of these. That's the first south vault done. Ship's just a good basis to store them all. Okay, so next we're going to be going to the west vault for the second medallion. It's just over there in the distance. So what I'm actually going to use to shoot on over there is I'm going to use the cannon. It's a good idea to have the ship pointing this way. We're going to be heading through the 2 rocks afterwards, so you can line up the ship there. I don't ever usually anchor when I'm solar slooping, so just put the sails up. Okay. You might get a few skeletons that spawn here, but they're not really a problem. Now originally this one was quite long-winded. You had to go over all of the map, stand on different pressure points, and it revealed different symbols, and yeah, it took me a good half hour just to work that out before, but luckily again it's going to be the same code each time, and for this one it's 3, 1, 2, 3. So you get the first pillar, three, two, and then 3. And this should hopefully be saving you a lot of time rather than actually working out what each of those require, because they can vary each time you do it. So if you are doing it 5 times, this is just a much quicker method. Now there is another way that you can actually, once you've done these, is to save the checkpoint, but you do need 2 players for doing that. So as I'm genuinely a solo sleuper most of the time, I could sign in with another Xbox, so I do have 2, but I didn't think it took too long to do actually, so using this method I just decided to do that each time, because you have to sail out each time to the shores of gold anyway, so it just made sense. Although I don't know if you've got a checkpoint if you can actually dive to the location. I haven't tried that. Oh, where's my ship? Oh, it's over there. I couldn't see it for a second. I thought I was running in the wrong direction. Okay, so once you've got the second one, we're going to be going for a little bit of a sail. Now on to the East Fault. As I said, it's just through these 2 rocks here. You can just about see it just behind to the left of the screen there. Okay. So you can just approach it from the front. Just try and judge the sails to start to raise those when you've got a little bit of distance. The ship will carry on for a little bit whenever you do that, and it will always grind to a halt. I'm just going to turn it a little bit to the right, because afterwards we will be sailing round the rock. Use a sword dash. Now it's actually the same code as we used in the last vault. So it's 3, 1, 2, 3 again. This one's pretty easy to work out anyway, actually. On its own, it's probably the easiest vaults. You just kind of have to make the pattern of the key if you're doing it correctly. So 3, 1, 2, 3, so you know it's right when it's got a key head there. And that will be our 3rd medallion. So you see I'm making pretty good time. As I said, the first time I did this, so this was about 2 hours in. I probably got to this stage. There are lots of ways to play this game. I know a lot of people play with crews. I've done a little bit of crew work, but a lot of the time I like to solo, because I've got normally objectives that I want to achieve. Plus sometimes I just want to dip in and out as well. I always feel more obliged playing with people to sometimes stay longer than I want to. So yeah, it was always advertised as like fun with friends, but I've got a lot of out of this just doing it solo. It's a game I always come back to. I've been playing it since it first came out in 2018. But I've put something like 2,000 hours into this game now. I'm slowly grinding through it all. Unfortunately, I won't ever complete it properly because I didn't get all of the arena achievements. But yeah, they've also done a great job in adding content to it as well. So if you are away for it, I've had a few breaks from the game. You can come back often. There's a lot of new content. I actually feel it's a live service game done right. You can pay for a premium pass, but all the content is free. I think that's pretty much cosmetics you really get from that. And yeah, it's not pay to win. It's only ever cosmetics. You've never got an advantage over anybody else other than experience. Now, with this vault, you can actually move the pillars before you light the braziers, beacons, whatever. That I'd recommend doing it for the first time, because once you hit it, you are going to get a series of spikes coming up. So, before you actually light them, just go to the 3, 2, 3, 1. And it should save you a bit of hassle of having to avoid the spikes twice. Okay, yeah, I need to actually light the braziers before I do that. I do apologise about the pronunciation. I've got no idea how to pronounce that word. Okay, so you can see the spikes coming up on the floor. Best way to do this is just to nip across. That one's for 2. It's 2, 2, 3, 2 for this one, and then go back to the centre. You may be able to do more than one at a time, but I don't think it's worth the risk, and I'm not convinced you'll have the time anyway. So yeah, just avoid a trip to the Ferry of the Damned, because those spikes will kill you instantly. Okay, so that's that one done, and that's all 4 medallions. So for the next part, we now need to go and place the medallions. And it's not too far away, but it's handy to have a sloop in these parts, or at least a rowboat, because the part that we're going to go to is very narrow. So yeah, if you've got anything bigger, you probably won't get it down there, so you'll have to come back a longer way to the ship. I believe this is the quickest way. So you just want to hug the rock, get a little speed up. Now you will often get the Shroud Raker activating, which can be a little bit annoying because it sort of blocks your sight a little bit. But if you just stay close to the rock, around about this point, it's probably a good idea just to raise the sail a little bit and slow down. It's not too much of trouble. If you do nip the sides, you can easily repair, of course. But yeah, it's just nice to try and get in smoothly without grounding. Okay, looking good. Okay, now just over here on the right is the ladder that we'll be using, and we're going to need to transport all 4 medallions to the vault. So obviously this takes a bit of time when you are soloing. So while we're just running around here, we'll just stick to the right of the rock. Up ahead you'll see like a sail or mast, a tattered sail, and that's going to be the entrance to the vault. And just place it in there. Now again, on the way back, just hug to the left. You can easily go down the wrong path on the way back, Although it's not too much trouble, it'll just take you a little longer. You'll probably be able to see where your ship is once you emerge. Okay, my ship's gone walkabout, sail about. Must have been going a bit faster than I thought. But it's okay, because we need to turn it around anyway to come out of this part in a minute, so I may as well turn it around now. Could actually use the grapple to go up there, but I'm not going to. I may speed it up slightly more. Okay. So I am recording this on Xbox, and you can only do 4 minutes at a time. So every time you see a slight little glitch, it's normally because the one recording's ending and I'm just having to start a new one. Obviously, where it's a live service game, I can't pause it like I usually do to knit them together neatly, so you'll see 1 or 2 seconds sort of missing. Okay, so just hug to the right. Once you've done these 4, you will actually get a checkpoint. So if you do need a break, you can quit the game there, although you will need to sail back to the shores of gold. I'm not actually sure if you could actually try diving from the checkpoint. That may work. I've never tried that. I usually just do it all in one once I'm here. But the useful thing about checkpoint, if you've got more than one player, is one can quit and then you will still have the checkpoint. So they could actually start a game again and you can start fresh from the checkpoint. I didn't think this one was too bad though. It could be very useful for the other Tall Tales because you can get a checkpoint right before the end. On this one there is just the one checkpoint in the whole of it. And yeah, it will obviously save you a bit of time. But I thought the vaults were fairly quick, and you still have to sail out here anyway, so. So yeah, first time doing this without the checkpoints. I think I failed the first time. I pretty much gave up. I was doing it for a couple of hours, and I was just too tired to carry on. Second time, yeah, it took me a good while. Of course, back then we didn't have the checkpoints. Back in my day. We didn't have the grappling hook or the blow dart either, which will come in useful in a little bit. We should have sped this bit up a bit. Well, we've got the last one now. The last one was actually from the last vault as well. I didn't intend for that to happen. I don't know if I did the others in order or not. I've just been picking them up, so a final one. Now once you place this, you will then get a little opening to the left, and that will reveal a gold coin or gold medallion. Okay, and you also get the checkpoint. So now if on the main island, if you've done the Shores of Gold before, you may have noticed a row of sort of statues. So we need to place these in one of the statues, which is not so easy because the only way you can get to the statue is through a cannon. I have tried it with the grappling hook, and yeah, maybe there's a place you can cling onto that I didn't manage, but I've had no success doing it that way, so you do have to cannon onto it. Now, on one of them I did have a cannon of rage, and that made it a lot easier actually if you're struggling with the cannon shot, because you can actually place it just in front of the statue. It's actually quite useful for getting the journals, because one of the journals is also on another statue. That's a bit harder to get to from this position. So we just want to make a U-turn here. We're just heading straight into the next cove. This one you got a lot more space on. Ooh, treasure. Okay, now what I usually use for the sort of measurer is that rock just on the right. So if you put your ship just in front of that rock, you can see the statues there. We're going to go on the one on the left. The first one on the left is our target. Now it's not too bad if you keep the cannon fairly low. So you want to get a sort of quite a flat shot. That gives you a bit more leeway, because you can either get it bang on to the statue, or there is a little ledge just going around it. If you hit that as well, which I usually hit, let's have a look. Yep, there, just hit on the ledge. Once you hit it fairly flush, you'll actually sort of bounce not too bad, not too far when you're doing it from that low shot. So you go down here, you do that lever, and that will actually open the vault door. Now we need to go and get the gold coin. And at this stage I'll say equip a grappling gun. It's not necessary, it just makes it a little bit easier in some parts. Some of the bits become a bit parkour, and you can just sort of cut a few corners. Leads to less frustration. So again, if you are enjoying this, give us a like and subscribe. I do make all sorts of videos, retro videos. I make sort of gaming montages to music, which is my personal favourite. Sort of like music game videos, I guess. And of course achievement guides, hints, playthroughs. All things gaming. So we placed a gold coin in there. That will then open up to this doorway. So you can fall down this part, so just be a little careful not to slip on the stairs, like I nearly did then. There's spikes on the bottom. It's not too bad though, because you do actually start to get checkpoints, so you won't actually go back to your ship, you'll go back to just the doorway. And again, here there's a checkpoint that I've just come past there with the sort of like mermaids. So this bit can be a bit frustrating, but just take your time, look at the spikes, go through there. I've done it a few times, so on this one just a bit of speed, run through that part. Now sometimes with these ones on the floor, I do find it better to jump over. Just be a bit careful on that part there, not to move forward too quickly, because you do get those spikes coming down from the top there. Okay, so we're smoothly through here. This is a bit with the grappling gun. We'll save you time. You can just get it out and shoot over to this platform there. Turn this wheel. And that takes out the annoyance of parkour on the masts. Which is okay, but I don't think it's really made for third person sort of gaming. Okay, and then just shoot over here, and that will take out that part as well. So if you're getting your lantern out in the dark and getting those bits. On this bit, just go to the left and jump over rather than through the middle, and then yeah, just quickly through there to avoid that trap. Now, if I die, which I may well do in a bit, then I'm going to be changing over to the blow dart. That's mainly because it's of the lure dart that can be used for these skellies. When you're solo, you have to turn another sort of crank or wheel, and these skellies do keep respawning, so it can be a bit frustrating because yeah, they will come after you. You don't always have enough time to turn it fully before they get you. The other trick, if you don't want to use the blow dart, lure dart, is to just try and leave one alive, preferably one with a pistol. So, not nearly dead. Get a bit of health there. That should be okay. Actually, I think I might be alright for this one. So, just left the one, I believe. He's not coming through yet. So yeah, then you can turn this wheel. He's coming now. Oh, no, it's alright. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. So yeah, it's much easier with the lure dart, I believe, because you can just fire that through and they will go towards that. Now on this part, just when the first one goes, just run straight through. As long as you're running, you'll make that pretty easy. I haven't actually died once on that part. Okay, so I've got quite a few skellies again in here. It's exactly the same process. Either try and leave one alive, or if you do have the blow dart, use a lure. No. Okay, I'm going to die on that bit, but that gives me a chance to actually show you the lure gun, so lure dart I should say. So we can exchange it here. I also think it's a pretty good weapon for the final battle as well. Just a little bit annoying changing darts. So I've got to do the shoulder button, then press B, and then get up the right dart. So I'll just shoot a few down there. Now sometimes they will ignore it and still come for you. I think it depends if they catch a good sight of you or not. But you can see them flashing down there. And if you look, the skellies are actually going for it. So rather than coming for you, yeah, they will go for that. Okay, so just a few more traps to go now. It's pretty easy. Now this one's go watch the floors. If you step on any of the floors, it will shoot up spikes. There's 3 switches in this room. On there. Yeah, there's also a journal up there on the right. Okay, I can't get through that bit. Well, see, you can see I set it off there, but luckily I wasn't standing anywhere near, so that's handy. And then we're through to the next bit. Pretty plain sailing now through to the actual gold hoarder. So yeah, just lower the drawbridge and pick up some fruit if you can from the barrels. I'm not sure if you die in the next bit. If I think it does restart again. So Yeah, we've got to try and do this bit without dying. But yeah, probably won't. Let's see what we got. A bit of mango. Put that in the rubbish. Okay. Right, so yeah, I usually go to the white lure dart. And the trick I use here is to shoot him with a few of the white lures. He does produce a lot of skeletons. So what will actually happen is, again, some of the skeletons will get through and come for you, but a lot of them will actually start attacking them, so you can use the skeleton's powers, you know, the shoots and the swords on him. And then just try and just walk around and pick him off. With the other blow dart, you've got one that's like an exploding dart, and you've also got a poison one, which is pretty effective. The lure darts won't last forever, so you do need to keep peppering them. There is a ammo box just over on the right over here. As I said, there will be a few skeletons that kind of get away. You can just take out the rogue skeletons. Oh, get off. I just think it's a bit easier than sort of battling with a load of skellies yourself. You can actually use them to your advantage. Yeah. A bit of poison. The poisons will slowly wear them down. And yeah, if you get close enough as well, you can still use your swords, but if you start using your sword on them, the skellies will start going for you rather than the lure dart. So yeah, just keep them pepped up. Nearly died there. I don't really want to die yet. And you're probably a bit better in this game than me, so you'll be more accurate, I'm sure, with these. But I'm hoping you'll get the general idea. I'm messing again with them. There you go. Stick it on here. What it also enables you is to get out of the way of his major attacks, which can take a lot of your health. So you can sort of use the hit and run style, and all the time the idea is that the skellies will be going for him. Now I'm getting a few too many come through actually, doing it this way, this time. Yeah, I have died. Let's give it another try. Also just grateful being on Series X, it's so much faster now. It used to be quite a long pause on the Xbox One. Okay, so I'm just going to use the same tactic. Again, this is just a recommendation. Obviously, if you prefer to do it any other way, feel free to do that. So yeah, it's good to stay out of sight actually. Then you can hear, you know, they're really concentrating on him, and then just peep out, nick him with a few shots. Trouble is, the closer you get, the skellies will then recognise you, you know, or go for you rather than the lure. So although it's effective, the lure dart, it's best when you're not about. They will go for that. They will go for you first still if they see you. But if you're not about, they will go for the gold hoarder. One on me, couple on me. Quite a long battle, this one. This is also quite a good trick just to use on Ashen Lords as well. Again, if you're solo, it does work better if you actually manage to hit him. I'm just going to be a bit more cautious on the health side. Plenty of fruit around in this, so yeah, you don't really need to die. Okay, so the lure. Let's see if Thieves hit and run. Getting in the corners. These skellies can be a little hard to see. We'll be nearly going down now.
Now this is what I like to see. A grand adventure.
Yeah.
A fight to the death. And a great,
yeah, the music stopped. I don't know if you see him die there, but the skellies do stay around.
Tale to tell once you make it home. The trouble with being the pirate lord is that everybody tries to follow in your footsteps.
You don't get much for the skull, unfortunately. It's about 10,000.
The crew of the Morning Star. Why, I ask you? This place.
And that's it. Then we just go see the pirate lord.
Bigger and stranger than any of us know. I reckon you've learned as much.
Once he's finished speaking, the vault will open to the right. You can escape from there, and that's the tall tale done.
Of anyone brave enough to seek them out.
So I do hope you found it useful. As I said, it's mainly aimed at solo sloopers or solo players.
It's never that easy to
I'm
scrub
just
away
hoping
the
that you
stain
find the tips and tricks.
Still,
make it just a little bit shorter, because you do need to do it 5 times to get all of the accommodations.
For now, I'd leave the treasure be. Its power has claimed the hearts of too many pirates already. That skull should fetch a pretty penny with the Order of Souls, however, if you're so.
You get a nice little ending.
Whatever you choose, take care not to linger, for the Shroud Breaker's power is nearly
I'll just leave this to play out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Ready for some other crew to test their mettle. Perhaps we'll meet again over a grog or two. My door's always open to true pirate legends. Until then, farewell, and remember, it's not about the gold. It's about the glory.